I am doing my presentation on organ transplants and organ donations. Only 54% of the United States are registered organ donors, however 95% of the United States support it. Organ donation is a very intricate process. The rules and guidelines of who can give and receive these organs are very intense. Organ donation and transplant process take a lot of time, money, research, and it requires a lot of specialists. It's a very long process to have an organ transplant. There are clinical transplant coordinators involved, transplant physicians and surgeons. There are financial coordinators to help with insurance and the bills that the families of both the donors and the transplant receivers have. And there are also social workers involved that provide counseling and a community for them to reach out to. A donor patient must be brain dead or dead for a certain amount of time before their organs are used. It's very strict. The guidelines have to be followed to the T. That's why there are specialized teams that only deal with organ transplants. Transplant patient needs require medicine to help their body not reject the organs that they are given, because it is our body's automatic response to attack any sort of foreign DNA or anything like that. So that's why counseling is also needed. UNOS, everybody's probably heard of before. It is an organization that uses an algorithm to determine which organs go to which patients. Patients are chosen by their blood type. So the factors that would affect your position on the list really is the urgency, how bad you need it, your odds of surviving the procedure, and your immunological status. So the match is chosen by your blood type, as said, and the amount of time you've been waiting on the UNOS wait list. Heart, lungs, pancreas, liver, kidneys, intestines are all vital organs that can save lives. Corneas, valves, skin, bone, veins, ligaments are life-changing transplants that organ transplants receivers can have. Some of these you can actually be alive for. The liver actually regenerates itself and is our only organ that regenerates itself. So only pieces of your liver are needed for a transplant. We also have 2 lungs and 2 kidneys that can be transplanted, and the intestine is normally the small intestine that gets transplanted. It's the most common. However, it's not that common of a procedure. Only about 250 a year receive that sort of transplant. Corneas restore sight in blind people, some blind people. So all these procedures are life-changing and give people a second chance at their life and being a part of their community and their family. One person can save up to 8 lives, and they can change 75 others' lives. A lot goes into making organ donation a life-saving surgery, and the requirements for patients and the guidelines for staff are critical to the organ transplant success. All these rules are in place for a reason, so that everything can run smoothly, ethically, and successfully. The process of harvesting and organ transplantation is a very long process. It looks at a lot of different biological and environmental factors to determine who gets a specific organ. It's very important that the patients who receive these organs have a patient care team behind them, like their family, some sort of support system to help them go through this process. Organ donation has saved so many lives, and it's not as controversial amongst religions as you might think. The Jehovah's Witnesses, they're against giving blood. They're against blood transfusions and things like that. However, there's nothing in the Bible that says that a organ donation or transplant would contradict their religion. So it's not as controversial as one might think. And the sources that I used was the Carolina Donor Services and organdonor.gov. Thank you. The end.